Hello, all you coin aficionados out there, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Well, I found a little jar of coins I had as a kid, and I found a 1963 Franklin half-dollar in it. And this is just really cool. For one thing, it's probably been in there since sometime in the 60s, uh, and it was probably relatively new when I got it, but it is pretty old now. So let's take a look at it. At the top of it, it says Liberty. At the bottom, it says In God We Trust. And right here under Franklin's chin, it says 1963. And, sometimes these threes look a little bit like a five when they get worn, but this is clearly a three. You can see how his hair comes down and it's long. This is a big change in American coins when this first Franklin half-dollar came out in 1948. This is the first U.S. coin that had ever had a non-president on it. So Benjamin Franklin, of course, never was president. It's not clear to me that he ever even ran for office. I do believe he was the ambassador to France, and of course he was on the Revolutionary Council and in the Constitutional Convention, but he never was president of the United States. So when this came out in 1948, there was a lot of controversy over whether they should put a non-president on a coin. And then when we flip it over, you'll see that there's a lot of controversy, why there was a lot of controversy about the back, when they said that if you put a crack on the back of the coin in the Liberty Bell, it would impugn America's integrity in the world because we showed a cracked Liberty Bell. So we'll take a look at that in a second. But first, let's talk about the features of this coin. It is a silver coin, 90% silver or 0.900. It's 12.5 grams in weight, 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and 2.15 millimeters in thickness. It has a reeded edge, as you can see here. And you can tell it's silver, huh? There's no copper in that baby. All right, when we flip it over, you can see the aforementioned Liberty Bell. Now, this coin is a nice heavy coin. In silver value alone, we're talking about $6 just in silver. And in 1963, they made a bunch of them, and I'll tell you why after we kind of look at the back here. So if we look at the top of the back, it says United States of America. Down here it says $half. We see the Liberty Bell hanging from the wooden frame here and the crack through it. Over here we see E pluribus unum, and over here we see the eagle. Now this eagle, there's a number of different ways to tell how old the coins are, and one of them is to actually look at the number of eagle feathers on this side, and you can tell whether it's a type 1, which on this side, I'm sorry, type 1, which has 4 feathers to the left of the perch, or it's a type 2, which has, you can't see all the feathers to the left of the perch. So let's take a look at it. All right, so it's pretty clear that there are 4 there. So this is a type 1. And also one of the other things you look at in these coins were how clear the lines are across here. And see, you can see some writing there. You can actually see the X for the year that the bell was made. Then you can see some minimal kind of writing down here. See the writing here, up here with the date and the year. Down here you can see, and then here comes that crack through the Liberty Bell, which the American Council of the Arts felt was a bad way to represent the United States with a crack in a bell. We have the clapper down here, and then way up here in the center of the 2 bolts holding up the bell, we see the D. And that's where you're going to find the mint marks up here, right where it says the D for Denver. In 1963, at the Denver Mint, they made 67 million of these. Well, they made 67 million of these for one reason and one reason only, and that was, guess who was coming? They, after John F. Kennedy's death, President Kennedy's death in 1963, they rushed this coin to circulation. So this is a 1964 JFK half. I think they weren't sure quite how quickly they were going to be able to get it out. So they minted as many of these 63 Franklins as they could, and that at the time was 67 million of the D's, 22 million of the um, S's, 22 million of the Philadelphias, and 3.075 million of the um, proof coins. Now, when we start looking at these coins, so if there was almost 100 million of these made, that's why it's so easy relatively to find a Franklin 1963. And then when Kennedy's halves came in 1964, this was the first year of the half, and uh, it it came in, actually did come in late in 64 and replaced this. They never took these out of circulation, but the reason that they ended the run on the Franklin halves was because of the assassination of John Kennedy. Now, when we look at who designed these coins, that's kind of a mixed bag. Also, the front of this coin was and back of this coin was initially designed by John Sinnock, Sinnock, and this was in fact his last design because he died before they finished um, the engraving of this coin in 1948, or before they minted this coin, and he died before they finished in 1947. Um, and when he died, Gilroy Roberts took over, and Gilroy Roberts, of course, is of the famed GR uh, initials on the engraving. And I think you might be able to see that he didn't put his initials on it. He left the Sinnock on here, John R. Sinnock on here, and he didn't put the Gilroy Roberts on this coin. See it right down there? John R. Sinnock, just kind of in memory of John Sinnock. And then when we get to the back, you see this is the Gilroy Roberts finished up this Liberty Bell here. All right, that's all we have today from the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. And if you like United States coins or world coins, please leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll do what we can to put on any coins that you'd like to see us do. Just put them in the comment section also.